If your school bus entity could increase retention, reduce incidents, and lower cost by 7 to 12% over the next 3 years, would it be worth the investment? Virtually every school bus entity in the country is experiencing the same thing: high turnover, high incident rate, and thus high cost.
School bus drivers perform a task with stress levels tantamount to that of an oil rig worker, a nuclear scientist, or even an airline pilot. Beyond their mandated skills to operate a commercial vehicle, they are charged with transporting a human cargo that is both priceless and irreplaceable.
In 2019, Dr. Sean Alford delivered an address to the school bus drivers of Aiken County Public School District, South Carolina. In his address, he stated that common sense is not so common. He went on to state that drivers from days gone by versus drivers from today don't process information in the same way. What we grew up with, and when I say we, I'm referring to baby boomers and millennials, what we grew up with, known as common sense, younger generations did not necessarily receive. Fast forward to 2022. I was in a training for modern mobility. Most of the students in the class were half my age, if not younger. As the trainer asked questions about what the job might entail, there were some very interesting answers. I did notice that many of the younger participants in the class gave answers that made me scratch my head. Is this how you would respond to this particular scenario? It was from Dr. Alford's speech and from this particular training class that DRIVERTUDE was born. I've been in passenger transportation for almost 40 years. I've driven coaches, I've been a municipal city bus driver, and I've been a school bus driver. And of all of the professions, I really love driving a school bus the most. I love the impact that I'm allowed to have on the students that I transport. In a recent survey, a majority of the drivers stated that their love of the job is because of the impact that they have on the students. More than 40% of those same drivers stated that their least favorite part of the job are student management concerns. But student management is often OJT. No amount of training can prepare some drivers, particularly new drivers, for the experiences they are about to encounter while transporting students to and from locations. It doesn't matter if you're a large urban entity or a small rural school district. It doesn't matter if you're a driver that's only been behind the wheel for a few months or a highly seasoned driver. School bus driving is very hard and is not getting any easier. Corporations have invested millions into understanding and validating the emotional intellect of their staffing. That is to say, while a person's skills may be a primary factor for hiring them, their sustainability with a company is often substantiated by a firm understanding of their emotional and intellectual acuity. I can think of no other industry where emotional intelligence should be substantiated and understood more so than the transportation industry, and very clearly the pupil transportation industry. TeamDriveSAFE was created out of the need to address risk management in the passenger transportation industry. Much of the technology that exists to help detect driver awareness exist within the cab of the vehicle. DRIVERTUDE looks to address issues with drivers before they ever get behind the wheel. If a driver's emotional or mental intellect are askew or compromised, then clearly the ability to make the critical, decisive decisions needed in the moment are compromised as well.
There is a notable correlation between driver retention and driver stress levels.
Our preliminary data points to a majority of drivers stating that they feel very stressed out after a day of work, and even more so after having picked up extra routes. From that same survey, a majority of drivers stated that they would be open to working less hours for the same amount of money, or would simply feel happier just doing the job that they were hired to do.
City traffic, proper bus operation, student management concerns, personal life concerns. We at Team DriveSAFE believe that understanding these stressors before a driver ever gets behind the wheel are key to understanding their ability to stay with the company, as well as helping them to perform with minimal risk and optimal output for the company.
Team DriveSAFE introduces DRIVERTUDE, Advocacy for Passenger Transportation Professionals. DRIVERTUDE evolved out of a need to address critical thinking skills from a holistic perspective. DRIVERTUDE is an interactive defensive driving module that allows for the detection of a driver's emotional intelligence prior to their getting behind the wheel. DRIVERTUDE offers real-time results of a driver's mental acuity, as well as proactive strategies to address a driver in potential crisis. If your school bus entity could increase retention, reduce incidents, and lower cost by 7 to 12% over the next 3 years, would it be worth the investment?